Hey folks, Fernando doing another video for Modern Survivalists, and for those of you that follow me on Instagram, that's Furfal308, you know that this morning I've been doing a little bit of shopping, went buy a few groceries, and I bought some more flour, which I'm right now trying to pack. Now, one of the questions that pops up is, oh, wow, you didn't have any food? Yes, of course I have food. The thing is I want more because I'm worried like everyone else, and I'm starting to get a little bit worried beyond the pandemic. If something else ends up happening politically, different countries not getting along all that great these days, and who knows, you know, we just don't know. And of course it's going to be an economic a crisis pretty much worldwide after this, or I mean it's kind of already started for most people, I would say. So things are not looking great, as we all know, and when things are like they are right now, you want to have even more of a safety net. So if you have a couple months worth of food, dude, you're fine. If you have shelf-stable food, it lasts like 3-6 months, no big deal. If you start building up on that and you want to have more food, you kind of have to start looking into long-term storage. And there's different options. You have your Mylar bags, your buckets. That's fantastic. The thing is this, and preparedness is like a lifelong journey. You start learning different things, and even personal situations change. Maybe what works good for you today doesn't make as much sense a year from now, so you're always changing, adapting on what you need. Right now I'm looking at the following. I don't want to have a bucket full of food. I want to have different packets, which at least for me is more handy. One of the disadvantages of larger bags or buckets or whatever it is that you have is if something goes wrong, if there's a bug in there and you open that 5 years from now, it is all spoiled. You know, if it's not sealed properly, or even if it's sealed properly and for whatever reason it broke, leaked, God knows what. If you have individual packs, that's a lot more practical. At least for me it is, for my family and the structure we have and how we work things out. So it's taking a little bit more time, but at least for me it's worth it. So it looks like I'm a bit of a drug dealer here with kilos of white powdery stuff. That's actually flour. I bought some of the larger 5 kilo bags, which, as I'm saying, not as great. Just pack those. So moving them into smaller bags. Now, for you folks familiar with Mylar bags, oxygen absorbers, that's great. The only thing is, I like this thing a little bit better, the food saver. Basically, you're doing the same thing. You're sealing the food in a bag airtight. You know, it's without any air in there. With the oxygen absorber, you have to make sure you get it right, because if you screw that up, it doesn't get all the oxygen out, and there's a little bit of air in there, and it kind of ruins the process. With this, you're pretty much assured that you got all the air out, at least in that first moment before sealing. You seal it, that is it. Great for rice, pasta, lentils. Those are the typical things I have. But for flour, which I like having, it's a little bit more tricky because you have to find a way, because it's powdery stuff. You can't just drop it in a bag and seal it. If you buy the smaller bags, you can seal those individually. I do that as well, but this time I got some of the larger ones so as to bulk up a little bit more on the food stuff. So I'm going with this process. You have to first use, and this I got from some lady on YouTube. Sorry, I don't remember her name, but putting first in a paper bag. You repack your flour in paper bags. These are not ideal. These are kind of thin, but still food grade stuff, so it's safe for food, but a little bit flimsy. The real protection is going to be in the actual food saver bag. So once you have that, you can put it safely in your bags and seal it without all the flour going into the machine. So I cut these already. Let's just seal one bag, see how this ends up working. Of course, this is no mystery. A food saver is a great addition. I had mine for a while, didn't use it much, to be honest, but now I'm starting to like it. And it's not just about food. For survivalists, for preppers, you can seal ammo in these things. You can seal a gun in here, make it airtight. There was a guy that recently opened a gun that he sealed like for 20 years or something like that. Basically saving it in an airtight vacuum seal bag has several advantages. For sealing clothes, for a bug out bag, makes it a lot more compact, and it's of course not going to be getting wet or dusty or dirty or anything. For sealing some medical supplies as well, sealing ammunition. There's a guy that did, well, a lot of people probably do this, but if you organize it well, you can make very cool little packets of ammunition for whatever kits or projects you have in mind. That's also a good idea. So you first seal one of the ends of the bag that you're making. Okay, that's okay. And here we see how that ends up looking. It's a pretty decent seal. This isn't like the latest, coolest Food Saver. It's not even Food Saver brand. It's something else, but still works. You have the bag. We get our kilo of. Well, I'm thinking about doing. I liked how the last live stream in the channel went. I think I'm going to be doing another one. Maybe another one tomorrow. Thinking again 4 p.m. Central Time, guys. If you want to catch that, I'll do it tomorrow 4 p.m. Central. Okay. If you want to be there for anything, just chat a little bit or any questions or anything you'd like to talk about. Tomorrow 4 p.m. Central sounds like a good idea. I'll let you guys know through the Instagram thing. So once we have that there, yeah, all you have to do now is just start the machine and be careful about trying to shape it nicely. I try to make bricks so as to stack it a little bit better. And there you go. That's it. A kilo of flour. So as to put in storage, that's going to be lasting as long as it's not messed up. I mean, even if there's a little bit of a leak and air starts going in, you kind of have to be pretty unlucky for a bug or something else to go in there and ruin it all for you. But flour lasts a good time. It's not as durable as, say, dry pasta, which is more hardy, tougher stuff. It's a little bit more sensitive, but stored properly, lasts for several years without any problem. Guys, it's going to be all for now. Check the channel tomorrow 4 p.m. Central Time for our stream. See you on our next video, which probably going to be tomorrow. Have an awesome day.